Good morning friends. In this video we are going to discuss about the electrophysiology of our heart, that is how actually heart work, how the contraction actually happens through the heart, and what is the depolarization. So let's get started. For effective pumping function, atria and the ventricle of the heart must be activated rapidly, that is to pump the blood from the atria and the ventricle. These two organs must be activated rapidly. To coordinate the task between the atria and the ventricle, heart has special electrical conduction system. This conduction system spread action potential to contract the myocardium, that is muscles in the atria and the ventricle. Myocardium is nothing but a muscles in our heart. So the cardiac cycle start when the cells in the SA node, that is sinoatrial node, which is located in the right atrium, above the right atrium. So the cardiac cycle start when the cells in the SA node discharge action potential. Now what is the action potential? Action potential is nothing but a electrical impulse, electrical wave that causes the rhythmic contraction of our heart muscle. So how this electrical impulse or how this electrical wave generation happens? So two types of myocardial fibers are present. First one is a non-atomatic and second one is a atomatic. Non-atomatic fibers can't generate impulse on their own. So these are called the non-atomic fibers. During the diastole, a resting membrane potential remains stable, that is 90 millivolt inside. So the main question is why membrane potential is negative inside at a resting state. This has the two reason. Reason number one is a sodium potassium. Reason number one is potassium permeability. So this is due to high potassium permeability due to presence of leak channel on a cell membrane, that is special leak channels are present on the cell membrane of our heart. So concentration of potassium is much higher inside the cell. This concentration of potassium is higher inside the cell than the outside, that is outside concentration of potassium is lower than the inside. So naturally this inside potassium ion diffuse out of the cell membrane, and outside potassium ion become higher in the number. So as the potassium exit, the cell inside become negative as compared to outside. Reason number 2, sodium potassium ATPase pump. So this pump helps to maintain resting membrane potential by actively pumping 3 sodium ions out of the cell for every 2 potassium ion pump in. That is, when the 2 potassium ion pumps inside the cell, at the same time 3 sodium ions pump outside the cell, that is only 2 positive ions pumps in and one more positive ion, that is sodium, pumps out. So the negative potential inside the cell is higher than the positive. So this is how at the resting state membrane potential become negative. Now let's see the various phases of heart uh, electrophysiology. Now the resting membrane potential is 90 millivolt. Okay, when these membrane get stimulated by the electrical impulse, they depolarize, that is cell membrane potential become more positive. Now how these membrane potential become more positive, we will see later in this video. So when the membrane stimulate and depolarize, this phase is called zero phase. So at the zero phase, potential of the cell membrane becomes positive. Then, after the zero phase, it rapidly returns to isoelectrical level, that is where no electrical activity between the heart occurs. So, maintenance of membrane potential at this level called phase 2. This is the phase 2, maintenance of electrical potential, phase 2. Okay, during which calcium ion flows in and bring out the contraction. Means at phase 2, contraction of the heart muscle brings out. After the phase 2, relative rapid repolarization start to happen, that is process towards the relaxation of the heart start to happen. Sodium and calcium channel remain closed. Now, what is the depolarization? What exactly the depolarization is? Cell membrane become more positive during the process of depolarization. At the resting state, cell maintain negative potential, minus 70 millivolt to minus 90 millivolt. These we have seen previously in this video. So depolarization is triggered by electrical stimulus or spontaneous pacemaker activity in a sinoatrial node. A sinoatrial node is also called as a pacemaker of our heart. So when the cell is stimulated, voltage gated sodium channel gets open. As the sodium channel opens, the sodium ion influxes inside the cell, and inside of the cell become more positive as compared to outside. As the sodium rushes into the cell, inside of the cell become less negative, moving to more positive potential, and this is nothing but a depolarization. So depolarization waves spread across the muscle causing contraction. So this is how the contraction and relaxation of the our heart happens, and through this process of the contraction and relaxation, heart pump blood throughout the body. So thank you, friends.